Let's understand how accounting entries with regard to GST should be passed in case of aggregator. In case of aggregator, both reverse charge and forward charge should be followed. So what do we mean by reverse charge? When we say reverse charge, we actually mean that GST should be paid by the aggregator on behalf of the unregistered service provider, because the service providers are going to be small players. So on behalf of unregistered service provider who have not registered, who cannot collect taxes, this aggregator should collect tax from the customers and pay to the government. So this actually brings even the unorganized sector under tax umbrella, and it is also reducing the tax compliance burdens on those unregistered service providers who are basically small players like say drivers, electricians, teachers and all. Okay, so this is what we call as reverse charge, where aggregator is entrusted with the responsibility of paying GST by collecting it from the customer, but the actual service providers are not going to do this because they are small players. Okay, fine. Then what do we mean by forward charge? When we say forward charge, it is the charge or it is the GST which should be paid by the aggregator, because this aggregator is providing service. So for that service he is going to charge some fee. On that fee this GST should be paid. What is the service they are providing? They are basically providing an electronic platform. So for that they will be charging a commission. On that commission GST will be levied. Okay, so this is about the reverse charge and forward charge. Let's have a look at this example. We have this website called Urban Clap, which provides services to teachers, plumbers, electricians, beauticians, and so on. Okay, so they are in turn going to render service to their customers, right? So they are supposed to collect GST from them, but since they are small players, they have not registered themselves. Okay, so it becomes the responsibility of Urban Clap to collect the money, including GST, from all these customers. Okay, so this is how GST responsibility is cast on the aggregator. Fine. I'll show you one more example. Okay, here we have Ola Cabs is a company which is engaging the drivers. Ola Cabs is a company aggregator which is engaging the drivers. Drivers are giving service to the company by driving the vehicles for them. So this Ola Cabs will collect the fees from the passengers, and it will also pay share of fees to the driver, and it will also pay GST to the government, which is the ultimately responsibility of a driver. Since driver is an unregistered person, Ola Cabs collect it and remits it to the government on behalf of government. Okay, so when Ola Cabs pays this, we call this as RCM, reverse charge mechanism. In next session, we will take a small case study to understand how accounting entries have to be passed. Let's take this case study to understand accounting for aggregator. Ola, which runs cab service, is providing a service to a customer within a state and is charging 3,186, and that amount constitutes 2,400 plus taxes for the services by driver and 300 plus taxes as commission income. We have to pass accounting entries taking GST into consideration. So this 3186 comprises two elements including taxes. So let's see the breakup of it. Here we have statement showing breakup of various items. The payment to driver is 2,400. Now this payment is basically for the services provided by the driver, and driver should ideally collect GST from the customer or say from Ola for having provided the service. But since he is an unregistered assuming he's an unregistered driver. Now Ola has a responsibility of paying GST on this payment to driver. So Ola will pay 2,400 to the driver. If driver is a registered person, he would have collected these two taxes. Since driver is an unregistered person, Ola should calculate these taxes. We call it as reverse charge mechanism, and Ola should remit it to the government. So what is the source for the Ola? Ola would in turn recover it from the customers or the passengers who are using their services. Okay, so they are going to make a payment of 2,400, but when they bill customer, they not only bill customer for 2,400, they will also bill customer for CGST and SGST payable on payment to driver at the rate of 9% from the customers. Okay, so CGST on reverse charge mechanism at 9% on 2,400 will be collected 216, and this will also be collected at 216. So totally it's 2,832. Then we also understand there is a commission income. Commission income is 300. Now this is something where Ola has provided service to the driver, and for that Ola is charging driver 300, and Ola is supposed to collect the GST on 300. So we call it as forward charge mechanism. So on forward charge basis, Ola should collect 9% on 327. We call it as CGST, and SGST 9% 27. So all three put together 354. Now this 2,832 and 354 is collected. Total is 3,186. So this 3,186, what you have seen here, has all the 6 components. How payments will happen? This 2,400 will be paid to the driver. This 216 and these 27 will be remitted to government. This 300 is the income of Ola, which will be retained. So let's pass entry. First, the entry for the receipt. Let's say bank account debit. What is the amount received, which we can pick up from here? 3186. And we'll capture the breakups now. The first one, what is payable to driver? We'll say to driver account. What is payable to driver is 2,400. Then we have CGST payable on reverse charge. CGST payable account on reverse charge basis. We can pick up from here 216. We also have SGST payable account on reverse charge basis 216. Then we have to recognize the commission income to commission account. It's this 300. Then we have CGST payable again, but not on reverse charge but on forward charge 27. Similarly to SGST payable account, not on reverse charge but on forward charge, it's 27. So if we total all this, we get 3186. Fine. So this is the entry for the receipt. Then we have to make payment to the driver. When we make payment to the driver, driver account will be debited for 2,400 and bank will be credited 2,400. Now if this driver had been a registered person, what would have happened is this driver would have billed the Ola for this 2,400 plus these two amounts. Since driver is not a registered person, he is billing Ola only for this amount and only that is getting paid, if you can check here. But this two taxes are related to driver service only, so that should be paid separately. Okay, and this is related to the income attributable to Ola. Fine. So now let's pass entry for payment of those respective taxes. So what entries will pass? First of all, we have to make payment, and that is made possible through cash ledgers. Okay, so we'll say cash CGST ledger account debit, then cash SGST ledger account debit to bank account. Now cash CGST ledger, wherever we have CGST liability, is 216 plus 27, and cash SGST ledger, we have SGST payable 216 and 27. So these two should be paid. Okay, so bank entry will be sum of these two. So 486 have to be paid. Then we have to pass set off entry also, because we have payable entries still hanging, but tax has been paid. So how do we set off? We'll be setting off them against these respective cash CGST SGST ledger account. So let's do that. First, CGST payable account, we had something on reverse charge basis. Then SGST payable account on reverse charge basis. Similarly, we also had CGST payable account not on reverse charge but on forward charge, and SGST payable on forward charge. So let's go and capture the amounts. What was the CGST payable? On reverse charge basis, it was 216. SGST payable reverse charge basis 216. CGST payable on forward charge is 27. SGST payable on forward charge is also 27. Now how we are going to set off? We will be setting off them against cash CGST SGST ledgers. So we'll say to cash CGST ledger account to cash SGST ledger account, and here we have 243 243, and if you total we have 486 486. So it's done.